call.
Okay.
It is in the car.
You be ringing.
Nobody called.
Nobody calls you. So you don't answer when people call.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're here tonight for a special meeting of the Gardner City Council, so we're going to call that to order. Invite everybody that's in attendance to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For those of you that have already looked over the agenda, you realize that it looks like it's light, and that's because it's a special meeting, and we can only discuss at the special meeting the purpose of that special meeting. In this case, consider adopting an ordinance, adopting the fiscal year 2016 budget. So no presentations, no council updates at the end of the meeting, but we will lead off, as always, with public comments. At this time, members of the public are welcome to use this time to make comments about city matters or items on the agenda, the fiscal year 2016 budget, that are not part of a public hearing. So, if anyone has public comments they'd like to make, approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, and be heard.
Good evening, Michael Thomas, 246 West Park, Mayor, Council members. I understand that the city needs the extra help from the SWEDC, but to spend extra time and resources on coming up with an incentive matrix for them is ridiculous. We should either pay them what they asked or leave it at what we had discussed offering them. For those asking about what the incentive for them, my answer is next year's contract. There's enough other business to get to. Make a decision and move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Anyone else coming forward? With no one else coming forward, we will move on to new business item number 1. Consider approving an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2016 budget. Laura Gorley, good evening.
Good evening. Here we are. Okay, so, as you know, the 2016 budget was developed using priority-based budgeting, which is a cyclical, results-based, multi-year planning process that allocates resources or our funding and our employees to achieving the identified goals that have been prioritized by the governing body. Priority-based budgeting includes monitoring and evaluating and accountability and results for the funding allocated to the initiatives developed to support your strategic goals. So, as outlined in your council action form, the 2016 budget process was outlined, and it's where we are, what we've done, and where we're going. So, where we are. The priority-based budgeting includes monitoring, and we've been monitoring. During the last 8 months, you've heard about the 2014 end-of-the-year highlights and fund balances, the 2015 mid-year budget highlights, where everything was going pretty much as planned. We've discussed the calendar of activities, presentations, and stakeholder input that was used to develop the budget, current and future staffing comparisons, housekeeping changes to the salary ordinances, and staffing reorganization and a request for 1 additional FTE for a special events coordinator. What we've done. Priority-based budgeting includes accountability and results for the funding that you've allocated for the 2015 budget initiatives. So at the June 1st presentation, we noted that 8 of the 14 2015 initiatives were already completed by June 1st. And in your council action form for tonight's meeting, we provided an additional update for the remaining items, noting that all the remaining items are on track. And where we are going is what we have in the 2016 budget. So, where we are going, the 2016 recommended budget that is before you for approval had a theme of growth by choice or by chance because it was focused on deliberately facilitating economic opportunities through infrastructure development and asset management. And it included initiatives developed to implement work and activities of previous years, including the utility system and pavement assessments. The budget is structurally sound, with strong reserves in the general fund and the utility funds. The budget demonstrates the value the governing body places on the city employees through wage increase and increased health benefits. The budget addresses critical infrastructure and service needs while maintaining the current mill levy and utility rates. It addresses the long-term fiscal sustainability of the city through its focus on economic development. The budget included 3 minor changes to the salary schedule. We discussed those previously. There was a correction for a scrivener's error where the fiscal services manager should have been in range 8 instead of 7. A correction to the name of a position. Codes inspector should have been codes compliance inspector. And a classification change from contract and grant administrator from range 7 to contract program coordinator in range 6. We discussed all those previously. The budget includes 2015 staffing reorganization, representing a commitment to strengthening the liaison between utilities and finance departments, and further supporting the governing body's decision to reorganize all 3 utilities into 1 department. The 2016 additional staffing request for 1 additional FTE for a special events coordinator is included. And the final 2016 budget initiatives list, including the governing body's revisions for the police SUVs, where you wanted 4 and 15 estimate and 4 and 16, and the reduced allocation for the EDC, where you asked for them to have their originally discussed amount of $35,000, and you saved the remaining 20 for you to determine how to use later, still as economic development, but not to them. Those have all been included. So you've had 8 months of meetings and work sessions. You've had citizen input, and you have reviewed the presentations, assessments, and studies, and your decisions. So now you are here. This is your 2015 revised 2016 policy guidance document. With that, approving the ordinance adopts the 2016 budget and includes approval of our base salary structure.
Okay.
Nothing else to say.
All right. Well, we'll open the floor for public comments at this time. If there's anyone that would like to make public comments regarding new business item number 1, now is your opportunity. With no one coming forward, questions for Laura or other staff regarding the 2016 budget? If there's not, I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance 2494.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Harrison, second Melton, that we approve ordinance number 2494, adopting the fiscal year 2016 budget. City Clerk, you call roll?
Councilmember Harrison?
Yes.
Councilmember Melton?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Councilmember Winters?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2494 passes.
And before
And
you
so
leave, I
does-
need you to sign this. This
Yes.
is the budget.
Everybody, we need a John Hancock before you cut loose. And that will be the end of business for this evening. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Moore, second Harrison, that we adjourn. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned.
We print and sign. Good idea. Yeah, I should have.